Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I think. Let me. Do you see that paper again, please? I think I just want like one sheet. Do you have like a? Do you have like an A3 version? How much is the A3 version? You like good? For print. All right, cool. Oh yeah, cool. No problem. No problem.
Is there some new designs there?
Hmm?
Is that the new design you're printing?
No, this is the new design. I'm gonna make a stencil of this. You see that? Just one page. I need to make a very big stencil. So I'm gonna cut it out. So I'm gonna cut it out. This, I need to do. Yeah, I need to cut it out and then make a stencil. You get now. Perfection. 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 This is exactly what
So this is what you're gonna cut out.
I'm gonna cut this out. This is my stencil now.
Oh, and then you're gonna.
Yeah. And I'm gonna
Okay.
spray right through it. Spray right through it.
Oh, that's good.
Go fast, yeah.
All right. Inside of a circle.
Right, as well as trying to keep the thing in the middle like that.
Exactly.
Yikes.
It's gonna break my circle here.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to break my circle here so that this paper and this paper stay intact. Break it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just break the paper. Yeah, and then I'll fill that gap in.
okay, then you'll fill it in. That makes sense. Damn. Alright. You've definitely thought about it at least.
I've thought it
Yeah.
like a million and one times. Million and one times. Also, just something out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to sit on the back. Nice layout, man. I think we've got a winner.
Yeah. Just you. And just around those
A couple of people falling. You know what the significance of 3 is?
No.
Orion is a constellation of 3 stars. You know? So that's where 3 comes in. You know Orion's belt?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a constellation of 3 stars.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the significance of 3.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the Ori part of it.
Yeah,
Ori.
But Ori
okay.
can be anything else. You know,
Yeah.
like Ori could be like original.
Okay.
You know.
So that's why you kept it Ori.
Yeah, that's why I kicked it as Ori.
Yeah.
The whole thing is called Orion. The brand name is
Orion.
Orion. Right?
Okay.
But then growing up.
Oh snap! I think I get the Naledi part now.
Exactly.
Oh snap!
Ori Naledi.
That's crazy.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, growing up, like growing up, ne, like you saw it, right? Before their house was sold, right? And you can get the idea out about my early 2000s.
Uninterrupted me.
Wow, that's quite interrupting. You can get the idea that early 2000s, there was a craze, Gary Cavella, Kurt Geiger, Ben Sherman,
I know exactly what you're talking about. But yes,
Murachini,
for sure.
Navigator. You know, these are like fits that I always saw in Joburg, especially the brand called Navigator and Murachini. Yeah. So when I was like looking for a brand name and I was just talking to a couple of, I was just looking for inspiration, because I believe as an artist you gotta just gobble everything up, like eat everything up. You know, you gotta watch a shit ton of trash TV. You gotta watch a shit ton of documentaries. You gotta watch the news. You gotta read random magazines, some gardening, like, or pick up a novel, you know, or like go watch cars or go to the zoo or play with the kid. Somewhere along the line, as an artist, it hits you. You know?
Yeah.
It hits you.
Yeah. I get what you're saying there, Ibila dog. Wow, that's interesting there. Maybe let me get into the question. Let me jump right into the question.
So wait, so that's where the name Ori came from.
Yeah.
I was having a random conversation with a guy and then he was like, "You know why covering my Ori it?" I Ori yakona yayibona. Makuyifika yezoyibona naye. But the Ori yakona yena yayifeel, and then it hit me and I was like, Ori, originally yakona. Yeah. Then Orion.
That's crazy.
Through.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
Exactly, yeah.
That's interesting, bro. So like I see like Bodhi about the characters on the clothes. Right?
Yeah.
Can you speak more about that then? Like
the character on the clothes are me paying homage to my first brand actually, Icarus. I used to own a clothing brand by the name Icarus. I started it I think in 2012. Yeah, I raised it in 2012, and it grew with me for the better part of about 6 years or so. And that's the brand that exposed me to a lot of things, like runways, working backstage in Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, headlining a runway in Pretoria back in the day. You know, when fashion was popular, but it was like you had to grind. It wasn't glamorous. Now there's glamour to it. You know, honestly, there's a shit ton of glamour to it, and I thank social media for where it is and where it's put people right now. I have a friend who's in New York during New York Fashion Week as we fucking speak. You know what I mean? And he kept on with the consistency. You know what I mean? I had my own segues in life, but yeah, lest we speak about that. Yeah, so these are paying homage to Icarus, because the story of Icarus is that he dies eventually.
Oh, so what is he's falling or what's going on?
That's if you read the story of Icarus, the son of Daedalus, right? Yeah. He's the boy that flew too close to the sun. Yeah. Right? His waxed wings melted and he fell right back to Earth. Oh, yeah. He died.
Icarus is falling. Okay.
So Icarus is falling.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. So like you just mentioned now about your background and the brand basically. Just cover that a little bit. Like what background are we talking about? Because as Jay mentioned in the interview, you are basically the only person that can make clothes from scratch between you guys.
Definitely.
Can we talk about that? Like how did you come upon that skill basically?
I still own it actually. My scrapbook. In high school I used to draw clothes.
Oh, smart.
Like for fun, you know, like EGD. The thing is I was always good at drawing, you know. And the annoying thing is, and this is something that I really want to investigate or try to like get to the bottom of, or maybe just reform it or change it some way, you know, if like God gets me the opportunity to get there, you know, which is move arts and culture further than grade 9 in high school. I knew I was an artist in grade 9. I knew I was a fucking artist in grade 9. I drew like a motherfucker. I was crazy, you know. Niggas used to pay me 5 rand so I could draw shit for them in primary school.
Oh, you were that guy.
Yeah, dog. I was good.
Yeah.
You know, and some people say that's like a latent talent, you know. I'm just gonna say that I was creative and I knew that I needed ways of expressing it, you know. And my cousin happened to be like in fine art school, you know, my elder cousin, and he passed on the skill. I was like, hold your pencil like this. What you see in your head is what you put on paper.
Wow.
Use more than one pencil. You know, never erase. Never erase.
What's the idea behind that?
The reason of using more than one pencil, it allows you to rectify. So you have more than one pencil like in different shades.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So you start off with your light pencil. That's gonna give you like your baseline, like what you're trying to do. Yeah. Then when you come back with another pencil, now you're working off of the correct parts off of your sketch. And then when you get another pencil, you finalize it now because you it's like molding, you know? It's like molding. When you're molding something with clay, you don't, if you get the nose wrong, you don't break the whole head down.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You just nudge the nose again and shape it in the right direction until it fits the head that you've already made.
That makes sense.
That's the same way with drawing.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, like forget about the eraser.
Yeah. And also there's the idea that comes with erasing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
as you're creating, when you're erasing, you're doing something.
Exactly, you're doing something. You know, you're taking away what could inspire you further on. You know, so every line, there's no such thing as in creativity. There's no such thing as a mistake. It's just happy coincidences.
You're throwing yourself off.
Yeah.
I just thought of that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just happy coincidences. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let's kind of get closer to home, right? So now we know your background. How do you bring this home? Because as I mentioned to Jay, some of these things that we're seeing for the first time. This is part of why the Seeker exists, because there's a lot of things happening for the first time right now. So how do you bring your skill of tailoring or making clothes home, and how do you approach it? What makes you do that in the first place, actually?
I only have one reason why I bring it home. It's because I grew envious of brands and creatives that were able to make it in their own hometowns. You know, I was always this outsider, very comfortable outsider, let's say, very comfortable outsider in these places. You know, where I go to work, mingle with other creatives and so forth, and I find them doing crazy shit. You know, like thriving on that. You know, I find them thriving in their own creative aspect, you know, like being able to grow a fashion line in their hometown. And one might argue that their hometowns are cities. You know, but I still argue the fact that it's people that know them.
And that's why they're successful.
That's why they're successful.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's the people.
So I also wanted that. Like, I'm in Cape Town, and a few of my boys are doing great. You know, they're doing good that side. Not in fashion, but just in the creative sense, you know. And then I see brands from Cape Town having like a lot of flagmanship. You know what I'm saying? People are wrapping clothes locally in Cape Town that are made locally, that are from Cape Town. You know what I mean? I'm in Joburg. That side I know about my designers there. People are wrapping the clothes there. They're wearing the designers who are local and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And I just couldn't fathom for the life of me, how is it not happening on that scale here? And I was like, I might not be able to reinvent the wheel, but I can add a cog, you know, that might change the dynamic of how this wheel will
It could start the process.
You know what I mean? So maybe me as another designer adding on to the amount of existing designers here, the culture might grow. You know, the culture might grow even further to a way that we can establish maybe like a young complex.
That makes me think, right?
Like just local designers.
Yeah. So you saying that you adding your piece to it, right? You're adding your piece to it not just to add your piece. It's probably also because you feel like there's something that Ori has to add.
Yeah,
right?
There is something that Ori has. Like, look at this old man over here. Turn the camera here. You saw that old man walking down there? I bet you're not going to see anybody like him again today. He's adding something to the streets.
Yeah.
You know, his own taste. You know, how he decided to wear a trench coat. Even though it might be a tad bit too small, but he's rocking it. You know, briefcase in hand, ninyana, you know what I mean? It's his perspective on today shares a different narrative for tomorrow. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So that's generally what I'm trying to say to you. Like, I also want to add on to whatever is existing here, and maybe my 2 cents might be the 2 cents that's necessary to make it $100 grand. You know, and then you can start buying a steak somewhere around here. You know, affording a steak somewhere around here. And then again, I've always also wanted to. I've always wanted to say my clothes are locally made from where I come from. I definitely want to say that.
That's a flex.
And that's where Jay and I really really come together with Scott as well. You know, that's when we really come together, and that's why 7247 is like this great movement. You know what I mean? So these shows are made here. You know, they're seen first here.
Yeah.
And then out to the world as big as time goes.
Yeah, when I asked you the previous question, actually, I was trying to get to more what do you bring to the Kronstadt audience? Because you're talking about having a stake, right? To get there, people need to buy in, right? And how do you get people to buy in Kronstadt specifically?
I bring, that's something that I'm not really sure how to answer because I bring a feeling. I don't know how many people buy a feeling. You know,
on the other hand, I feel like a lot of us buy a feeling.
that's the thing. People, a lot of people buy feelings, but I don't know how to make people buy feelings. I just bring a feeling.
Okay.
I bring a feeling of uniqueness. I bring a feeling of avant-garde, maybe couture. You know, like something that you'll definitely never fucking find in a shop near you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can only get it from my head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I bring to the table. I bring things that are not being, that cannot be sourced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I create.
Nah, that's beautiful actually, bro. Now, with that said, how do you create with Kronstadt in mind, though? Or your town in mind? Or do you even
I don't create with my town in mind.
Okay.
I honestly don't.
Yeah, because you're from here.
Because I'm from here. I am the Kronstadt in mind.
It makes sense. That
You know what I mean? I'm the Kronstadt in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it's... If I were to answer you this question, I would be lying, and my lie would be the equivalent of me saying it's like biting my own teeth. You understand? Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you on that. But you know, there's something I guess I'm trying to crack to say, okay, how does I don't know, how do we establish a way of having value on both sides where the customer respects the person who's creating, and we have that, because what's that's a battle, but now we're talking about art instead of baki ya mama, you understand? Because there's always the event there, constant, but this is a different kind of thing. You're asking people to come to participate in your thinking, basically what's in your mind. If they recognize it as art, how do they treat it? Wow. So that's what I'm trying to crack. Okay.
So I think maybe to answer you, Jay, Scott, and I have had the pleasure of not living here and living elsewhere, respectively, and being able to travel again, you know, everywhere around this country. You know, like from edge to edge. We, like, as we sit down, we know this country from edge to edge. You know, a lot of pockets we know. So we've seen a lot of things. We've experienced a lot of things, and we've enjoyed similar things as we've been traveling, like, around the country. You know, in our respective zones. You know what I mean? And I think there was one chat where it dawned on us that we struggle to go out because there's a vibe that's missing here. So we're like, no, we'll create that vibe because we're not the only ones
that
seek this vibe that we've created.
Pun intended.
Yeah, we're not the only ones that seek this vibe. You know, so we might as well just make it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's enough pubs and drinking places for people to go to. Like, please, feel free, be there. But then again, there's also this niche pocket of creativity that we've established. You know, and the invitation for people to just come and experience, even those who are aware as well, because we're not the only traveled people. There's like shit tons of people who've traveled around here, you know what I mean? And some of them are like, yo, I'm missing a vibe, yako neighborhoods, or yako mojos, you know? Damn, they didn't know how you can start aside. So I really do like a casino, right? So it also deters Batu, like the relationship with Kasiabo. You know what I mean? So I think maybe what we've created is maybe like a love interest again. You you know, for people to like enjoy their Kasi and be like, yeah, no, there's potential, it can grow, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's always that kind of thing where there's people that complain and there's people that make things happen. There's people that support those that have tried to make things happen. And then there's always those that will always shun those that are making things happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I can't tell you who's who in the zoo, but I know I'm the zoo.
Yeah, but that's I feel like that's a good buy-in, really, to have that thing. It's almost like when people, let's say by South Africa, they move to other countries and they have that expat relationship. Maybe that place has a South African pub, that type of thing. Yeah, how look once that you still want to feel like you're as edgy as the Joburg guy or whatever. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, dog?
Yeah. I definitely understand that vibe about. That's what I got actually from even you guys coming together, because I know you guys have left and have earned certain stripes out there, and now you're coming back. And I feel like, how important is that, right? Because I think all of us have that, you know. All of us have learned stuff in the world, and do we owe it? Do we owe it to come back and do things like that? Yeah. Do you think we owe it?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. So you always felt that way?
Yeah, that's why I was envious of those that could do it in their hometowns.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, why can't I do it from them?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean I need to live here for my brand to exist here. You know, and that's why I kept asking myself, why can't I just give myself the time to create something, establish it? You know, I don't care where it goes out into the world. You know, it really doesn't matter where it ends up in the world, just so long as I can authentically and proudly say it's from Constant. You know, that for me, that hits the spot, dog. Hits the spot, like, you know what I mean? Let's go look for spray paint.
Oh wait, no, let's definitely do that.